And the talk that was expected for Ana Peral, it will be made tomorrow. Now, Lucía González López will talk about. She's the director of the Aging Life Foundation, which is one of the entities, and in fact is the one that coordinates the Project Forum in Andalusia. She is also the president of the Andalusian Council of the Professional Associations of Social Work. She's graduated in social work and has a PhD from the University of Jaén. She is specialized in dependency, personal autonomy, and accessibility, and she is a member of the board of directors of the Andalusian Geriatrics and Gerontology Society, and member of the board of directors of the Professional Association of Social Workers of Jaén. So I would like to welcome Lucía González López now, and she will talk about the technology as a social resource and the inclusion of the population in the digital society and the experience of the Aging Lab.
Bueno, muchísimas gracias, José Juan.
Thank you, José Juan, for introducing me.
¿Se oye correctamente?
I hope everything is okay now.
Veo solamente la pantalla del PowerPoint. De acuerdo. Muy bien, pues muchísimas gracias por esta invitación.
Thank you for the invitation to the International Forum.
Por tener en cuenta
Thank you for taking the technology as a social resource into account.
Es muy interesante que lo
It is
podamos
really
abordar,
interesting to
y
talk
ver
about
de
this
forma
topic
conjunta iniciativas como Faraón
in the
y
Forum
resolver el día a
initiative
día de
and use
personas
the
que
technology
padecen riesgo de
to
exclusión
improve
social,
the
en concreto,
daily
pues,
basis
personas
of
mayores que
the
por alguna
older
situación
people that may
pueden ver su
be
autonomía
in a
personal.
situation of social exclusion.
En concreto, bueno, este foro vamos
Particularly in this forum, we will
a
introduce the
Foundation
Foundation Aging Lab,
de coordinar
the foundation that I have the honor to coordinate, and
y conocer un poquito cómo
we will now meet how from Jaén we have been carrying different experiences that have been working with innovation and social investigation and the application of the technology as a resource for the older people, counting with the older people themselves. I will now introduce the foundation, and from this presentation we will see different experiences along our 10 years of work we have developed. The Foundation Aging Lab is a project promoted by different enterprises and the University of Jaén, and it is really involved with there are many people from different ambits, professionals from the public and the private sector. We are a net of knowledge about aging. We would like to offer different solutions. Many people see the aging as something healthy, but other people see this as something negative. And for us, the aging is a challenge that we have to face in order to improve and make the best out of it. We have, as I said, a net of professionals to do this. The name of Pharaoh gives sense to many of our initiatives. Agent Lab, in fact, means, as you can see, we have a European network of living labs. What is a living lab? Well, a living lab basically is participation of the citizens but organized. Living Lab facilitates the participation in many services, such as the role of Pharaoh, but in fact, especially with the case of the older people. But we have to take into account the real life, the real environments that the services are used in. We from Agent Lab started this initiative, validated by the European Network of Living Labs. And when we test any service or any project, we do this throughout the formed European methodology with the collaboration of many other people with many situations, real and fictional. If you have any doubts or you would like for me to expand on this topic, you can ask me any question. In this slide, you can see the international projects that are working along Agent Lab. The first project is Pharaoh. I'm not the one that will introduce Pharaoh. Well, I will not expand on Pharaoh, but I would like to say that this shows the work that we have been carrying out. And thanks to the Agent Lab, this Pharaoh is along our work. We had the opportunity to participate when the idea was created, and we could talk about the loneliness project concept, and give access to many pilots in many countries that are related to this topic, to the concept of the loneliness. We are really interested in this concept, and we have the honor to coordinate in the Project Pharaoh. Just to say some examples of the projects that we are working with that take the technology into account are projects like Essence, where technology is more aimed to the spaces. The spaces can promote the autonomy of the person if it is used correctly. This project is focused on construction, from the base of construction, and we will the project Frail, which we have validated the technology in the residential ambit with different initiatives and with other projects such as innovating food. We are in a socio-technological forum, and we have also projects that about the social exclusion. These projects are more focused on the social prescription and aim to give a more general scope to these problems. There are other projects at the national scale that we're working with. Inclusion, with the title of making other people close to the digital world. This project counts with many investigators and many socios, associates from different countries. But we like to address the reality of the other people. We need to transfer the knowledge to their reality. So we have developed many projects that are more real, in a sense, to their lifestyle, the lifestyle of the other people. We have other projects such as accessibility and prevention of falls, which aims to give real great formation to the carers. We consider that it can have a great impact if their carer, social carer that is in their homes, have a common basis and knowledge. For example, when managing their houses, their room administration, their furniture and things like that. Service is more about more than the basics task. We have also collaborated with a really interesting project from the Andalusian Public Health School with the digital platform En Buena Edad. This platform aims to promote healthy aging throughout digital solutions. This project is open and for everyone, and we invite you to collaborate with. And we cannot forget to mention a project of smart recognizing of activities carried out in the Centro Ángel Cobo in Alcaudete. We are monitoring the activity of the users throughout many dispositives that you can see in the slide. For us, it's a whole new world of investigation. It's more than technology. We are aiming to be precise in the ways we can help our older people by using technology with dispositives that monitorize different activities such as the use of water, the movement, and we work in the pilot of this project. Now we will focus in the real world. In this international forum, we will talk many interesting things, but we wouldn't like to forget the daily basis of the homes. We're gonna forget the residents. There is a real digital gap between all the people. The reality is that now we are in a moment where me, myself, I'm not a digital native, and that requires an impulse of the digital capacitation. Therefore, we developed a project in the year 2019 with the help of Fundación La Caixa, a project called E-Inclusión, with the title of Making the Digital World Closer to the Home of All the People. This project focused on the capacitation of their carers to make the gap shorter for these people between the digital world. Technology is not an obligation, but we would like to make it closer for these other people in order to improve the quality of life and the so-called acompañamientos activos, the time of their carers spent with these older people and they can use this time to adapt the technologies for them and teach them in a way.
que es la formación en capacitación digital para auxiliares de ayuda.
So how we would do this? First of all, we need to give formation and capacitate this carer to carry this task
Nosotros a nivel metodológico lo que hacemos por un auxiliar
at a methodological level
a dos personas usuarias que ellas
with an auxiliary.
porque sabían que estaban predispuestas
We collaborated
a
and
participar.
we
Pues,
helped two people that were
aceptaban o no.
interested in learning, and we gave them an auxiliary that helped them to learn to use new technologies.
La tecnología, porque mucha gente cree que es difícil de usar.
Many people think that new technologies are difficult to use. The so-called techno stress.
Porque se cree que puede tener un alto costo.
People think that technologies, high technologies and cutting-edge technology are really expensive, but this is not the reality, and we have a great digital gap.
Estos son los pasos que dimos en su momento.
These are the steps, different phases of the project.
Una vez que tenemos este proyecto
We must say that once we have these projects closed,
evaluamos el piloto,
we evaluated it,
ha tenido un impacto
and if the
positivo,
pilot has a positive impact, we recreate the project in different areas. In the case of this project,
personas de Jaén, de Sevilla.
people from Jaén, Sevilla, and Granada participated.
Resultados interesantes de este proyecto. Bueno,
Well, interesting results. Many people didn't have any previous knowledge about new technologies or the technologies they had in their own homes.
observaban
Their auxiliaries and carers so the use that they make of the technologies they had in their home.
y por otro lado,
And on the other side,
que no conocían la tecnología, la gran mayoría, más del 90%, sí que
although they
habían
didn't learn, they didn't know about the technology, most of them
la misma.
found this project useful, and the use of the technology they found really useful.
La mayoría de la gente no había aprendido de forma autónoma, con lo cual
Most of the people didn't learn on an autonomous way, so this help was fundamental for them, and this help had a really positive impact in their lives.
que ha tenido impacto. Bueno, nosotros hicimos una serie de consultas a las participantes.
We made different consults for the participants,
Dos cuestiones.
and I have highlighted different questions to different the intention of learning.
Puede tener
We found it was
de años.
quite high,
Nos decía incluso en la distracción, en la estimulación.
and this
Pero el
intention of learning had a real impact in
objetivo que si lo podemos
their
seguir
moods
promoviendo, aunque la
and in the way they learn about technology.
parece fundamental.
We find it
Y luego ha
fundamental.
salido muchísimo el tema de la
Another question was the communication
la familia.
between the family, the carers, their friends.
También ayuda las tecnologías mucho al tema
Technologies help with the community and a community scale.
de que estallara la conocida, desgraciadamente, pandemia en la que
We carried out this project right before the emerge of the coronavirus pandemic.
y bueno, algunas conclusiones de este trabajo, pues trabajamos con
So as a
sobre
conclusion,
todo mujeres, sabéis que la
we work
ese
with mostly female users
31 años,
with a median of 81 years and with a grade 2 of dependency, and without any technology in their homes and no knowledge, no previous knowledge of their use.
¿no? Le ha gustado aprender sobre el uso de la
They have stated that they have enjoyed the use of the technology and they will continue to use them,
y siempre
and they found it useful,
la profesional de referencia, decía
and they always would like to count with the help of a person, a professional,
experiencia de apoyo,
such as their carers.
ayudar, pero nunca sustituir pues, lo que la persona pueda hacer de forma autónoma. Consideramos que ha supuesto un
We
impacto
consider that this intervention has a positive impact
eran positiva,
because the 88% of the answers were positives,
siendo un medio de distracción durante
and it has allowed them to learn and to be motivated and with the intention of learning more and more about the new technologies.
parece interesante esta iniciativa.
We expect that, we hope that this new project, you find this new project interesting, and we consider that that it has had a positive effect, and we expect that our older people are the ones that decide if they want to use or not technologies, but if they have the opportunity. Profile of the users of the home help service. In the end, a grade of dependency has given us little information, but we had to take into account other questions such as if there are any cognitive impairments or disabilities. A high percentage was considered to have a possible fall, a possible situation of cognitive impairment. The union of all the parts of the project is fundamental. This initiative is now a bit slowed, and because we consider that the personal contact, the physical contact, and be there for all the people is fundamental for the carry of these projects. And we expect to take again the course of the project in this year. We have it already arranged. In 2018, we talk about aging and sustainability. We will not like to forget Luisa Martinez, our Premio Luisa Martinez. An applied investigation award given to those who we gave this award the name of Luisa Martinez, which is an ambassador of the University of Jaén. Ambassador. Why we transfer? We work in a sector where it's really important to share knowledge. I would like to use this slide to make two invitations. First of all, you have the publications that we have been developing. On the other side, we have the magazine Ayoba at your disposition. I will not like to forget the book of El Servicio de Ayuda a Domicilio en España. This is a resume, summary of what we do in the foundation, and we have received many questions. I will go on with the questions now. Throughout this week, we have received many questions aimed to the work in Aging Lab and in the Consejo de Trabajo de Salud Social. And we are in an international forum that suits the situation to answer these questions. Is the personal work? Many professionals will be work, others won't, but it is really important to take into account that the pandemic has forced for all of us to learn the potential of the technology, but we need more resources and more formation. As I said before, it is really important to be consequent with the digital gap. is now with the user profile and the career profile.
Bueno, decían, comentan las trabajadoras sociales, ¿qué comentan las trabajadoras sociales sobre la
What do
tecnología como
social
recurso
workers
social? ¿Hay más resistencia?
comment about the
O al final
use
la
of new
tecnología para
technology?
nosotros es un recurso, es decir,
Technology for
algo
us in
que
the end
para
is a
nosotros
resource.
es aprovechar los recursos.
Social
Eso
work
sí, nunca sustituyendo la
has
intervención
the
real.
use of resources as a basis.
¿Qué queda? Pues mucho por hacer, porque es
There is
necesario, por
many,
un lado,
plenty things to
aplicar de
do.
forma transversal la ética en este ámbito, que
We
lo
have to
vamos a
apply
ver
the
en este
ethics
foro,
in this
y
ambit.
que se tenga en
We
cuenta
will
acompañar
abord
a las
this in the
empresas.
forum.
No podemos decir, esta es la herramienta, ala,
And we need to be a companion for the
la
users.
vida.
We
Ni
just
para los
can't
usuarios, las
show
usuarias,
the
ni para las
technology for
personas
us. We have to
trabajadoras, para
make
quienes
them,
son
help them
responsables
learn
de servicios
and guide
sociales.
them throughout the process of learning about the technology.
Sí. Entonces, esto es la dificultad que ha hecho a su vez pues, una muy importante de servicios sociales y que además ha causado pues, muchísimo tecnoestrés a las personas. Y bueno, en relación al cuidado, pues ya hemos dado alguna experiencia y no me quería detener que luego al final tenga más. Dejar aquí el próximo futuro, el 18 va, pero sí que se acaba de ser trámite de investigación de Andalucía, que es se para la investigación de ella. Además, venimos trabajando hace 10 años y estamos con la transformación a medio plazo, no a corto plazo, y tecnologías facilitadoras e inclusivas son los retos que tenemos. Así que dejo por aquí algunas reflexiones finales.
I would like to show some final thoughts. Do we listen sometimes for the innovation and investigation in social services? Do we have the capacitation and the necessary tools? Do we want urgent results or really or important results? Do we evaluate and analyze what we do? And do we collaborate with partners of interest for this task? Thank you very much, Lucía, for your intervention. Now we will have the next intervention in 1 minute.